What's going on, Entrepreneur Academy? Scott Benham, so excited to see you today. Today, we're going to talk about priority. Now, priority is the single most important thing. If you're not working on highest priority items with your clients, with your business, then you're not going as fast as you could be. You're not earning as much as you could be. You're not making the impact that you could be making. And that's a problem. It's not like there's just 2 or 3 things to work on at once. There's 20 or 30 things to work on at once. So as an entrepreneur, here's where you need to leverage the entrepreneur framework to make life easier for you. Not for any reason other than how can you make things simpler? How can you make life easier? How can you go faster? How can you go further? And it's establishing priority. So step 1 in the entrepreneur framework is simple. What are the problems? There's problems everywhere. There always will be, today, yesterday, tomorrow, and in the future. There's going to be problems everywhere. So first we magnify, we look closer at the problems, we ask questions, we do some discovery. So we magnify the problem, and then those problems multiply. There's multiple problems that come from looking to create a solution for a specific problem. And then we monetize it. Okay, we see the solution, we see the revenue, we see the customer lifetime value, we see the through line of the solution through the problem. And step two is we have to prioritize it. We have to work on the right priority items. Now you might ask yourself, well, Scott, that sounds pretty easy. Don't you just work on the thing that's most urgent? No, you don't. But I just said just a couple of minutes ago that as intrapreneurs, we're co-missioning. We're going on mission with this entrepreneur. So if they tell us this is what we're doing and this is why we're doing it, don't we just do that thing? Sometimes. Here's why you wouldn't do that all the time. Because those priorities might not be in alignment with where the business and the vision is going. And you need that as an intrapreneur. Because if we just go at breakneck speed and keep pivoting time and time again, here's what happens. You get worn out, they get worn out, and the team gets worn out. And when the team gets worn out, there's a level of trust that's lost. There's morale that starts to dwindle. The culture starts to take a hit. And I can promise you this, you won't get more done without a strong trust individually and collectively of where you're headed. So you have to focus on priority. Priority is so important. So here's how we do it. It's very simple. It's very simple. You're not going to have to take many notes for this one. We establish priority with our clients, with our entrepreneurs, our founders, our CEOs, our business owners. We establish that priority with them. Okay? And we remind them of the problems at hand, where we're going, and how we're trying to get there. Because we don't want to pretend necessarily that we know everything about that specific client. You might have 5, 10, 20 different clients. If you're working as an entrepreneur, whether maybe it's a fractional COO or a fractional CFO, you're entrepreneuring for another client. You might have multiple fractional clients. So the idea that you would be an expert in their business it's kind of silly. So they speak into what those priorities look like. Now, again, you're coming here with a basket full of problems, a ton of opportunity for them to monetize or help you monetize those solutions that were originally problems. But working on the most important ones really matters. That's why we establish priority. And here's the beauty of what establishing priority does with that entrepreneur is that you're developing trust. You're developing a rapport with that person so that you can understand how they think, why they think what they think, and what they would do as a result of those thoughts. Now, we are our own people, right? You have your unique gifts, talents, abilities. But when we're co-missioning, we're doing our best not only to adopt the vision, but also, catch this, to adopt the thought process, maybe the belief systems or the strategies or the tactics around how they would have done something. We want to borrow their 20 or 30,000 hours of expertise in this particular topic or this particular business so we can elevate and execute with speed, with precision, with priority. They're going to know what those priorities are. You might see 20 problems and think you know the right one to work on. But if you're just starting off, if you're 1 or 3 or even 5 months in, it might be hard to distinguish what that looks like. So that's why setting priority matters. Now, initially, you're going to set that priority and you're going to move into execution. With time, you're going to go in and you're going to say, hey, these are the top 3 priorities. I think these are the top 3. Where would you order these? Right? So you're going to start to identify just how important it is to still get that feedback from your business owner, from your client. Okay, so let's step back one step. We have to have problems to work on. Problems are the common denominator, the currency of business. But problems aren't enough. In fact, problems are often too big for you to execute on fully. So what do? We magnify the problems, which then makes them multiply, and then we monetize those problems into solutions. Now that we're down the factory kind of assembly line of monetizing those into solutions, now we got to figure out which ones do we work on. Because remember, we magnify them, so there's tons. We magnify and multiply. That conversation, that co-missioning culture, trust, rapport that you're building with your entrepreneur, with your business owner, right? That's going to help you understand how they think, what they think, why they think, what are the strategies, tactics, relationships that they could bring, that you could leverage to move faster, to make a bigger impact, to make a bigger income for yourself, for the business, for the founder. You don't have to know it all. In fact, the co-missioning is collaboration. That's so key, right? That's so key. Now, think about that for a second. Not all things have to be incredibly complex. You don't have to show up to every single client and pretend you know it all. Here's why. The framework, it works. Because the number one reason people don't take action, people don't choose the priority, they stay in inaction is because, well, they don't trust themselves. They're insecure. And I understand, like, I've been insecure. I've been a little unsure of myself in a variety of situations, but the Intrapreneur framework is going to help you navigate that with certainty. Because again, problems are a common denominator. If you're not working on the right things, you're not working on the right things. That's priority. And next week, we're going to talk about procedure. Priority and procedure are your keys. Check this out. They're your keys to navigate the solution orientation, solving problems for your clients and adding value, creating value, building revenue. Those are the keys for you to move quickly through that process. Okay? Problem, priority, procedure, process, product, partnership. All points to partnership. So take the opportunity to ask questions of your client. Ask them, where have they seen this before? Out of this list of problems, which ones would you focus on first? And why? Are there any people that you can speak to within the company or outside the company? Are there tools, systems, processes where this hasn't worked before or this has worked before? Okay? You are an extension of your clients. And the beauty of it is that your passion is to express yourself, express that innovation, that entrepreneurial spirit that you have inside the business. So you can free them up to stay out in front, to build relationships, build the movement, build the business, build a brand. It's so, so important.